Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our Thursday night live streaming Strumstick lessons. And last week we were working on Dream, the Everly Brothers song, and we looked at it with a little bit of a reggae rhythm, and I was looking at another song that works really nice with a reggae rhythm. And what I'd like to do is we're going to work with Can't Help Falling in Love with You, the Elvis Presley song, which the group UB40 did a very interesting reggae version of. So we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to examine some of the elements of reggae rhythm a little bit, and we may go into a full-on reggae song in a future lesson. And the interesting thing about a reggae beat is that if you ask different people, what's reggae sound like, you'll get different impressions from different people. And reggae is constructed of beat elements and rhythm elements from each of the instruments in the band so that you get an overall impression, but no one instrument usually is playing that impression that you have. The impression that most people have of reggae is a construct of multiple instruments, and it's the overlaying of those instruments that really makes that one of the things that makes that beat so fascinating. A lot of Latin rhythms can be like that too, where there's a main rhythm, but then what the secondary and tertiary instruments are playing so develop that rhythm that it's much more complex than even just the already complex initial rhythm. So the first thing we'll do is let's take a look at the chords on this and just get them out of the way, and we'll take a quick look at the traditional way of playing it. The song is in 3 beats to the measure, and we'll look at how to play that. But then we'll take a look at breaking it down a little bit to get a kind of a reggae beat to it, and talk about some other things related to rhythm. So without any further ado, the chords are pretty simple. We've got our basic D, this D, or this D, or this D, and then A, or this A, and then B minor, and then E minor, which is either this fingering, the bar at the 1st fret, pinky at the 3rd fret, on either the 1st string or the 3rd string. Quite a difference in hand position between those two. You have to swing your elbow in when you're going to swing that pinky over to the 3rd string. So that's, if you look at the image of my hand on screen, it's an awkward looking hand, and it's a little bit of an awkward position. This fingering is a little more relaxed when you have the pinky on the 3rd fret on the 1st string. That's a little easier. And then G, and then A, and then B minor, and then E minor, and then D, and then A, and D, and an optional A for a turnaround chord. And I've got, verse 1 with the chords over it. So you do the first line of verse 1, then you do the second line of verse 1, and then you go to the first line of verse 2 and the second line of verse 2. And then you get to the bridge, and the bridge is F sharp minor, which you can do just with the bar at the 2nd fret, or you can add the pinky 2 frets higher than the bar. And that's an F sharp minor chord. So that's the same as the E minor, but just 1 fret higher. And then the B, instead of B minor, like the river flows, just bar across at fret number 5 here. Now you could finger that as a B minor if you want, but I think it sounds better without the minor. And I have, if you'll notice here, I have G in parentheses. That's a substitute, an alternate chord for the B. So it could be like the river flows, or like the river flows, whichever sound you like better. The B is closer to the way the song is actually written, but I've done it sometimes with the G there. So that happens 3 times: F sharp minor, B, F sharp minor, B, F sharp B, and then E minor, and then A, and then a bass line from one A to another A. And I also put a G where it says right here, some things are meant to be. Some things are meant to be. So that's the sequence of the chords, and then it goes to verse 3, take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. And then the bridge, and then verse 3 again, take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. And I did suggest an optional B minor at the end. So when you're finishing the song, take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help, where am I? Help falling in love with. This time you end the line with B minor, you, instead of falling in love with you. The D is what we're doing most of the time, but this time, love with you. And then again, for I can't help falling in love with you. So the B minor just that one time is a little variation because you're doing the repeat there. All right, so that's just the basic structure of the chords. Most of what we'll do to make this interesting is going to be in the rhythms that we use with it. So since the song is in 3 beats per measure, we haven't worked that much in 3. Now the simplest way to do 3 is you can go down, up, down, like that. Now 3 beats per measure counts 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Remember, whenever you have a beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A beat is a beat. It could be, 1 beat, 2 beats, 3 beats, 8 beats, 28 beats. A beat's always the same distance apart. The thing that distinguishes one meter from another, one type of rhythm from another, is how often the accents come. So if you have the accent every 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the same exact tempo, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That accent coming a little more often gives a completely different feel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the beat's the same in both those cases because I was going at the same tempo. So with the Strumstick, we don't have 3 different flavors. We have down and we have up and we don't have sideways. So all we have is down and up. So if we're going to shoehorn down and up onto 3 beats, a 3-beat rhythm, there's 2 ways to do it. One is to go down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, which means you're breaking your little down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up motion. And you're going down, up, down, down, up, down. So you have a quick hop up to get to that second down. You got down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So you have to go down, hop like that up to get ready for that next down. So that one rhythm is just simply down, up. I'll say it. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And our up strum is on a beat, not on an offbeat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So down, up, down, down, up, down. That's the one way to do that. The other way to get 3 beats out of 2 units, down and up, is to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now this is the same down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up we were doing all along, but we're changing where the accent is. So where the accent is down, up, down, down, up, and in 4 is down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. In 3, it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And all the differences, I'm pulling a little harder on that up strum. So if we count this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm doing this and this to show where the accents are. Accent 2, 3, accent 2, 3, accent 2, 3, accent 2, 3. So the accent is alternating from the down, down, up, 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 down, up. And that's a little bit of a tongue twister at first, but when you hear it, you can hear there's a little different flavor. The down, up, down group sounds a little different than the up, down, up group. So you get that sort of rolling, the rolling rhythm of those accents against the two different sounds flavor of the down, up, down gives a very interesting texture. So, or, and I'll do both of those a little bit slower just for one more time. That's the down, up, down, up, down, up, and little more drive to the down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, because you have those two quick down strums in a row. The same again, time spacing, but the two similar sounds down, down create a little more drive than a down followed by an up. You can hear the difference as I alternate from one to the other. All right, so let's just the basic way to do the song, just down. Let's do the down, up, down, down, up, down. And with the down, up, down, up, down, up, so two different little flavors there. And then, so it's just wise, let's take a little faster. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Okay, so whichever of the rhythms you do, that's the basic structure there. Then, like the river flows slowly to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. And so on. Beautiful song, one of Elvis's most lovely love songs, and great song to play at a wedding. And that's just the basic version. Now, the reggae version goes like... And that's putting it into 4 with a syncopated reggae beat behind it. Now, if you ask most people what a reggae beat sounds like, they'll probably do something like bump da da bump da bump da da bump da bump da da bump da, shave and a haircut, shave and a haircut. And it's the real feel of reggae is a little more complex than just that bump da da bump bump. But let's start with that. Let's just say we're going to go down, down, up, down, 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 and play through the chords at a little bit faster tempo. Down, da, da, down, 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 da, da, down, down. So wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. so that's the kind of a basic reggae influenced approach to the song, which is that down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. Now, to make the song feel a little more that wonderful relaxed, groove that reggae feels like it has. Let me just silence my little phone over here. Pardon me. So I was saying reggae has a relaxed, strong beat and a lot of use of offbeats and syncopation, but it has a smooth and easy, relaxed feel to it. And I suggest you can go directly to any of the great Bob Marley songs with the Wailers and listen to the way the instruments interplay in the background. And we may actually analyze that just a little bit in another lesson, because it's kind of interesting how those rhythms fall together as a group. But people often think that the rhythm of reggae is that bump up, bump, bump up, bump, or bump, bump up, bump, 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 bump. And yet what the bass line does in reggae, a lot of times it goes boom, bum, 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 boom, boom, bum, bum, boom, bum, 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 boom. The bass line can be real straight. A real straight 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 rhythm that the other instruments going ch 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 against is what makes part of that feel. And yet sometimes the instruments will switch and the bass will go bump 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 bump, and some of the other instruments will hold the beat. So there's a lot of back and forth, but it's a real three-dimensional feel because you have other different tone colors producing the different elements of the rhythm. So the first thing we'll do to kind of dress this up, and this is going to be an interesting, just a developmental stretch a little bit, is we're going to try playing this with a beat, but with the strumstick just playing kind of the backbeat. So if I stomp my foot, I think you can hear that. It looks like it's shown up in the mic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I take my D chord and I just go 1 da da 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 bump. So I'm playing 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and beat 2 and beat 2 and beat 2 and beat 2 and that's whenever you have a longer space, like in effect what we're doing is we're leaving out the one beat. Fake 2 and 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 whenever you leave a beat out that much, it's a little tricky keeping track of the time intervals between that long space. It gets compressed and then the da-da gets rushed closer and closer together. So a good strong foot stomp helps. 1 2 3 4 1 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and here's where you don't want to rush that up strum. You don't want to go. If the beat is 1 2 3 4 1 2 and 1 2 1 2 1 and 2 and 3. There we go. 1 2 3 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and, so that and is a real half beat, not early or not late. 1 2 and 1 1 2 and 3 4 and 1 2 and 3 4 and 1 2 and 3 4 and 1. So if you start with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and fake 2 and fake 2 and fake 2 and fake 2 and that's how you get to what I'm talking about. Now what I'm going to do is I've got a metronome set up over here. Hold on a second here. And we're going to give ourselves the beat. Now I've got the beats set up on this. This is right now it's 162 beats per minute, and I've got it set up double time. We're really interested in 80, so I'm going to change that to 80. Make it 81. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's the tempo we're interested in. But with the beats coming that far apart, it's really hard to listen to the beat and keep track of it while you're also doing your strumming. So that's why I'm doubling that to, let's try 156 here. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. And we've talked about that before. If you do use a metronome at all, doubling the beat makes it much easier to get the timing information from the metronome, because there's much more chance that the metronome will give you a time cue when you're not already doing something else. In other words, in the offbeats or in the spaces when you're not playing, so that you can actually kind of hear that stream going along as a separate stream instead of you being slightly ahead of it or slightly behind it, but obscuring it as you're playing on it. So I'm going to make that even just a little hair slower for, let's go 150 here. And so what we're going to try is this. Let's just finger the D chord, and I hope you have your strumsticks ready there. So we're going to start with 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and we'll do that with the metronome for a little bit, and then we're going to switch to space 2 and space 2 and space 2 and. So you'll see what that sounds like against the metronome. So here's 150, which is really half that is our beat, because I doubled it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's our tempo there. Yeah, that's a click on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 at this speed, and we're going 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now you can either do a single note on the bottom and then down up, or you can strum all three for the down. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all strums. And here's the bottom note. With the metronome off. And that's actually, let's take that. That's a good intermediary thing, because if you play through the chords going boom, da-da, boom, da-da, boom, da-da, boom, da-da, it doesn't quite feel like reggae. It feels a little more like a kind of a country tune. But that'll get you used to hearing that beat and then the other things against the beat. So if I'll just take the first line. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. So that's just that boom dada, boom dada, boom dada, and then we're going to take the boom away in just a second. By the way, when I go, and I can't, that's right here, but I can't help, but G-A, this A is not really an A. You could finger an A. You could go, I can't help. But what I'm doing instead is I'm moving this G up, one whole fret, and you get a sort of a mixed polychord that's kind of an A chord and kind of an F sharp minor chord, but it's also got this extra E in it. So it's a slightly dissonant, a nice smooth, I can help. It's a nice harmony sequence in there. Okay, so let's put the metronome on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's play through just the first verse. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. And I'll call out the chords. D, A, B minor, E minor, D, A. Now it's a little fast, I think, to get the chords in there too. Let's just take that first line a little slower. 1, D, so it's two of them, right? D, A, B minor, 4 of them on the B minor, and then E minor, D, and that's 1 on each of those. So D, D, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Oh, that's the same timing. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, so that's the timing on that. And let's take that again now with the metronome. Let's just do it with just the D chord for a minute, just to get that down. This is one of those times when me not being able to hear what you're doing slows down the lesson a little bit because I can't tell how fast to go with this, but let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tendency will be to rush, so just relax. And my bass strum, I'm not like reaching in and distinctly hitting just one string, picking it carefully. I'm kind of just swinging in at a little bit of an angle so I catch mostly just that third string. There's a little sort of pull out there. Okay, so that's the skeleton of what we're trying to do. Now now we'll try playing the chords through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Once more. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Now that's a little bit of a slow tempo for this reggae feel. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank that up. Let's try 164. Okay, and let's see. That works. You could go much faster. Let's try 180, which is double 90 beats per minute. 90, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is kind of like the metronome's giving a beat and an off beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... That's a very kind of a cowboy rhythm, right? But, now, singing against that, wise men say, and what happens with singing a song with the reggae beat is you have a long space. Now, if you have a great voice, you can really let your resonance appear there and your vibrato, but it's a long space between each word there. Wise men say only fools rush in. Okay, so that's why the faster tempo is a little more important for this, because it shortens that long space. So once more with the metronome and singing it. Wise men might be a hair fast. It's a matter of taste. But that's that basic, boom, da-da, boom, da-da, boom, da-da. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the boom out, and I'm going to go back to, let's go to 160. Now try this. And I'm going to do this without the metronome and just my foot stomp. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, da, 2, da, 3, da. Let's go even slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's a very ponderously slow beat, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You almost have to do something in between those beats to kind of keep them lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and. Now that doesn't sound like much by itself. When you listen to that, all alone, it's just one element. But when you add the words to it, wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. And then at the faster tempo, that's pretty close. We're at the 160 there. So let's crank it up now to our, I forget, what did we do one? I think we did 180. Okay, here we go. And this is a hard tempo to learn that at. So that tempo sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling. I'm putting an extra strum in there. Sorry, I'm messing up here. Once more. Wise men say only fools rush in. I know what I'm doing. I'm going boom, da, da, and then just a single strum. I'm going. Because at that tempo, it seems a little too busy to go. But let's do that because that's what I was teaching you first there. So we're doing just the down up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 down up, 1 down up. I can't talk and do it. I almost can't help putting a single beat in there every once in a while, but I think you get the idea. So once you can do that stomp, da-da, 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 stomp, da-da. Now you can do the single beat sometimes. So like stomp, da-da, stomp, da-da, stomp, 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 da-da, stomp, da-da, stomp, stomp, stomp. I'll just do the stomp, I won't say it. So it's. So I'm not doing the up strum all the time. And then you can mix those up. So you have. So if you do that basic, stomp, da-da, stomp, beat. Stomp, da-da, stomp, beat. Again, shave and a haircut. Shave and a haircut. But shave and hair are the stomp. Shave, shave, and so it's and a cut, and a cut, and a cut. And that's kind of the rhythm we were dealing with at the end of the last lesson. Excuse me. So this is like the building block approach to getting this reggae beat working here. So you can get that all, that shave and a shave and a shave and a shave and a beat 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 and a beat. Get that working and then go beat and a beat, beat, beat and a beat. I'm sorry, beat and a beat, beat and I'm not sure which words I want to use for that. It's down, down, up. So it's beat, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So I hope you can figure that out from the several examples on here. Beat, down, up, down, beat, down, up, down. Okay, so then we go to our trusty forearm mute. Now remember, I'm going to shift this so you can see again. Some people have had a little trouble with this. I'm going to explain this a little more closely. If I line the Strumstick up with the camera, you'll see that when I'm like this position, now if I just open my wrist without moving my elbow at all, my forearm is above the bridge. There's space here, maybe an inch. Can you see that little gap there? Okay, if I bring my arm in a little closer, it'll just touch the bridge. Now, depending on the length and shape of your forearm, you might have to scooch your arm over a little farther to have the fleshy part of your forearm touch the strings. And that might involve actually strumming way up the neck here. So in order to do the forearm mute, rather than strumming, with your arm at the end and your hand is somewhere between the sound hole and the end of the fingerboard, to do the forearm mute, you're going to wind up strumming almost really over the fretboard. And what that does is that gives you a muted sound. Now you can do a similar thing with the heel of your hand, the palm mute, but that doesn't give you much swing with your rhythm. That gives you, it's a very tight little wrist action rather than with a little elbow action in it too. See the difference from the front? It's like this motion is a little smoother and graceful than this motion. And you can see the difference, how this looks tight and this looks a little more relaxed and natural. So the forearm mute lets you keep a nice sort of swinging, strumming thing going on, even though you could do that with the palm mute. Your elbow's lifted, your shoulders tight because you've raised your elbow up almost, so your upper arm is almost, it's not quite horizontal, but it's getting up there. It's not down in its relaxed position. So I think the forearm mute is handy for this. And it's tricky to do it if you have a long sleeve on. It might actually help. You could try that. It adds a little extra muffle to it. And now with the forearm mute going on, we're going to do that same little and now we're going to bring that beat at the beginning back in where we're pulling that bottom string, beat, down, up, beat, down, up, beat, down, up. Because with the forearm mute happening, this little beat is here and gone. Whereas when it's not muted, it's pretty loud. It starts high and evenly decays. So it's around in your attention all the way to the next strum. Whereas if you go here, it's like it's there and it's gone quickly. So you still have a little space before the next strum happens. So now when you go, that's starting to feel like reggae to me. lot of times it'll be a higher instrument that's taking that little two and, two and, two and. It may be electric guitar up high and plick, click, plinka, plinka. Sometimes it's the right hand up high on the organ keyboard. Blip it, blip it, blip it, blip blip, playing those two notes. And sometimes it's different elements of percussion. Maybe a high pitched drum, but that 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 that, or wood block, or claves, or even a cowbell. Clink clink, clink clink, clink clink. And so we're getting that effect with the forearm mute. Now, once we do the forearm mute, we don't have to do that pure syncopation where we're leaving out that single beat. So you might wonder, why did we go to all the work of getting up to where you can now practice that syncopation thing and get that so it's just... I'm just doing the two and. That's because if you're going to play rhythm strumstick in a reggae band, you're going to have to get that down. And having that down by itself, even if we don't use it all the time, means that you can go to it. So now as we play through this with the forearm mute, you see, sometimes I'm doing the beat and then the down up, and sometimes I'm doing the down up without the beat. So, let me play through that again and see if you can. I'll try to make it in regular places. So we're going to go beat, down up, beat, down up, beat, down up, beat, down up, down up, down up, down up, down up, beat, down up, beat, down up, beat, down up, beat, down up, down up, down up, down up. Okay, just as an example, that would sound like. Okay, and when you hear it by itself, again, it's subtle and it's not a lot going on. This is a pretty simple arrangement, but when you add the words to that, wise men say only fool. I didn't leave let me leave that out a little differently. Wise men say, you know what? Shall I invert that? No, let's just take that. Let me roll through it a little bit and get the feel for it. Beat, 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 beat. You actually need to get the beat established in that whole first line before you start leaving it out, I think. Only fools rush in. Okay, so do the beat down up, maybe just do the space down up. You work out what works best for you. And I'm actually thinking now that because we've got some separation between that single note and the other strums, and they're all muted with the forearm mute, that you actually can do that beat a lot, and that's almost like the instrument that's carrying the beat. Getting a place while your other strings are another instrument. So you get a little bit of that three-dimensional effect there. So wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. And you see how that little down up fills in those spaces after the words. Wise men say only fools rush in. And obviously you can extend your, the words when you're singing it a little farther. But I can't help falling in love with you. Then the bridge. Like the river flows slowly to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. And that's the bass line. You could just do the single notes without trying to hold this A chord at the same time all the way down. And now you can add more up strums. Take my hand. So now we're going. So we have shave and a haircut, shave and a haircut, ba-da-da-da haircut, ba-da-da-da haircut, ba-da-da-da haircut, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, haircut, 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 ba-da-da-da haircut, haircut, ba-da-da-da haircut, ba-da-da-da, bump, da-da, bump, da-da, shave and a shave and a shave and a. So we got shave and a, we got ba-da-da-da, and we got haircut. We got those three little elements. That now you can mix up all the way through this. Now, how are we doing on time? Okay, we got time for just a little bit more. Oh, my battery's going on the metronome. Let's play this before the battery's gone completely. Let's just mix that all together at this faster tempo. You can try playing along. You can always just do a beat. Okay, and here's wise men say. Oh, by the way, and what the metronome does is it actually gives you that beat reference, not only for your own hearing it, but it also becomes musically like having a drum beat in there. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Ba-da-da-da. I say, would it be a sin? But I can't help falling in love with you. And drop back like the river flows slowly to the sea. Darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Take my hand. Take my hold. Let's stop that, and here's a little melody bit. Take my hold. So take my hand. Take my. Just play those two melody notes. Take my or take my. Take my hand. Take my hold right through. Or take my hand. Take my hold right to. There's another spot. I can't help falling in love with you. You can do that little dum bum bum bum, kind of a triplet derived thing. I can't help falling in love with you. So with that timing, or I can't help falling in love, da-da-da-da. More keeping with the rhythm you're already doing. Da-da-da-da, or da-da-da-da, all by itself. And last but not least, let's see, I want to take this down to 90. And Now this is the... I find it really hard to keep with that slow a tempo, to keep myself in sync with that beat. Stomp, 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 stomp. But as soon as I go back to 180, set 180. Because it just rolls along like a train. Chug, chug, a chug, 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 a chug, 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 a chug, chug. And you have a real visceral relationship with that beat reference. And that's one of the things that drums provide in music, is that additional timing cues that make it much easier for everybody to play in sync. All right, the last thing I want to show you with this is, if you get this far, so you're doing the single note, the sort of single note, and the down up, and you're doing the forearm mute. And you're fingering, let's just do this A with just the bar. If I squeeze that finger on and off, I can get a snare when I do what would have been the single note. And now we've got another dimension in there. And all I'm doing is relaxing my fingers and letting them flop when I do what would have been that single beat. Beat, beat. Again, with a chord like G, you've got one open string that isn't going to get muffled, and two strings that are going to get muffled for the snare. So the snare is going to have that little chit sound mixed with this string ringing, compared to, so we have, so we're fingering the G chord, we're hearing this note ringing, but we're also hearing this little percussive cha-cha. The little cha. And then with the forearm mute. So we've got three sounds. We've got that muted but ringing single string. We've got the down up on everything muted, which is another flavor. And we've got this little tick going along with that open string in there. So it's like you've got three instruments playing. So you can see my hand going. See my right hand too. So it's muffled with the forearm, cut off, loosened up with the left hand. Remember, the one beat is where that snare is. Two, two, two. And that's as much as we'll take it for here. So release the forearm mute a little bit once in a while. you start putting the ba-da-da-da in, you could go down, up, dot, dot, down, up, dot, dot, down, up, click, cut, down, up, snare, snare, down, up, snare, snare. So there's all those elements to juggle with, and I think this is a lot to work on in a week. But everything's on the tape. You can take this in bits and pieces, take little bites. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play through just a bit of it, kind of mixing all that stuff together, and I'll probably throw something else in if I can't help myself. Otherwise, I will see you next Thursday. I hope you're all well and all safe in this next week. And enjoy your Strumstick playing. And, send me any questions that you have at info@strumstick.com. And on Tuesday the 19th will be Beginner Lesson B. This is the second half of the special beginner lessons that I did around people who got Strumsticks for the holidays and are just beginning. So feel free to check that out. You go to the page that you get the link for this on. That's listed on that same page on our website, the online streaming page. And if you have friends that are just beginners at Strumstick, you can alert them to that, because I will review the first half of all that in the first 10-15 minutes, and then carry on with some new stuff in that lesson for beginners. So with that said, we'll just play a little bit, and then I'll say goodnight. Say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? I can't help falling in love with you. Like the river flows slowly to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love with you. Like the river flows slowly to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, 'cause I can't help falling in love with you. I can't help falling in love with you. Little melodies bits at the end. All right, so we'll see you next week.